welcome to episode 137 of The Greywoodieshow Show, your home for all things pipe, tobacco, pens, life, and everything in between. I'm your host, Nathan Davis, joined as always by my craggy co-host, Eugene Falco.
Craggy. Okay.
Because of the new finishes you're working
Oh,
on.
yeah.
You've reached a new level of crag.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I have.
Yeah, I think it's pretty next level.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Which is really all either of us have been doing. I think we've been pretty wrapped up in different types of finish work.
Yes.
I just finished a lot of K-Woodies and running out of all of the stains that Bill didn't bother remaking that I now have to try to reinvent. And
Color science is fun.
Yeah, I might be enlisting some help on that.
I know a guy who excels at it.
Oh, yeah, I know one, yeah.
He doesn't do too bad for somebody who is colorblind. So.
And you've been, meanwhile, dimpling and doing all kinds of fun stuff.
Stuff is fun.
Yep. And I have a puppy in the house, which has made my life a little more difficult than it needs to be. Thank you, Sarah.
They do that. Yep.
All right, this week on The Greywoodieshow Show, we'll have everything community-related, as well as some product updates.
Community related.
Oh, yeah, we've got a bunch of stuff coming up.
Awesome. Okay.
This episode of The Greywoodieshow Show is brought to you by an Opus 88 mini stub cup of cozy with the Jus Urban lit de thé.
Ew.
And I haven't lit my pipe yet because I brought two. So I was going to let you pick one of them. The very first, as I mentioned before, K-Woody reverse calabashes are done.
Wow.
And it just so happens that two shanks split. So they'll hold up for quite a while. They're still vapor locked, so I'm not too worried about us smoking them. So take your pick of which one you like.
What?
And then we can both have the first reverse calabash K-Woodies in existence. Both Berkshire finishes. Wavy rims.
Which one do you like better?
I don't know. I really actually haven't even looked at them.
Oh, okay.
It was one of those that I'm like, oh, cracked shank, toss it in a box. And when I was done, I was like, ooh, there are two of them. Eugene and I can each have a first.
I like your little rustication spots.
Yeah.
K-Woody like.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a hybrid between my style and Bill's style and make it, a growth versus a complete change.
I have an idea that I'll tell you later about what you should do.
Well, it'll all change when I get the grinding bench set up and start doing it on older equipment versus me currently doing it with a hand tool.
I'll take this one.
Cool. Yeah, this one is perfectly acceptable. I'm good with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, they have this cool wavy rim, which was an absolute pain in the butt to work on. But I like it. And some spot carving, and both of them have decent grain in them. Yeah. I did, again, further dilute the base coat to bring out some of the grain instead of hiding it, because I had a lot of Berkshires that had surface flaws, but were really pretty grain anyway. So I make a batch-by-batch determination on how dark I do the base coat, whether we get that really deep plum of the more recent Berkshires, or in this case, I lighten it a little bit and give it this, reddish plum hue that shows off the grain.
Yep. It looks really nice.
And to smoke in them, not that you have to, I really just wanted to give you a pipe.
Okay. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. I brought along the Country Squire's 100 Earthen Dreams because I saw it and was like, ooh, I haven't had that in a while. This is the tobacco that the Get Piped guys put out for their 100th episode.
Okay.
So just a refresh on it, because I just knew I had some McClellan, Virginia, and some Virginia. So a limited edition micro batch crafted for the Get Piped podcast 100 Earthen Dreams is a blend composed of dark burleys, matured red Virginias, and stoved Virginia. In honor of the 100th episode, blah, 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 Virginia was procured for this splendid occasion. McClellan's 5100 is combined with Quinn's own red Virginia mixture that he felt would best complement the 5100, and Burley's. So yeah, looking forward to the shows. Hopefully seeing Adam and Nick out again. Feels like we haven't seen them in forever, which would be September. I think forever ago was the 175th.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw this tobacco laying there and was like, hey, we're going to see those guys again soon. And I need something like McClellan to break in a nice new pipe.
All right, yeah. I'll try some. Why not?
Yeah, it's only like super limited, and these are the 2 ounces that I got, and that's all there is.
Don't want to suffer from some YOLO FOMO.
Kids. Loading up our pipes. It's a very nice packing tobacco. I let it dry just enough that it's easier to pack and light.
Mm-hmm. So you want to hear about my day yesterday?
I do.
While we're doing this?
Absolutely.
So yesterday I went to the Adirondack Souvenir Show.
Oh, yes.
With
I've
RJ.
been looking forward to this.
They moved venues. They used to be at Turning Stone Casino and Resort.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're at a place called the Nexus, which is in Utica. It's a hockey rink.
Oh, neat.
So the trade show was in a hockey rink. There was no ice because that would be dangerous.
That would be super dangerous.
So
But
there's all these rubber
extra
mats
amusing.
and very tall cable covers that I kept tripping on.
Mm-hmm.
It was neat. And we talked to this old lady who RJ buys all the shit seasonings from.
All the garbage stuff, yeah.
Apparently she's a part of the board that puts this show on, the souvenir show. She told me something absolutely wild. So we asked why they left. They weren't at Turning Stone.
Yeah.
Turning Stone approached them at the end of the show last year and said, next year we need a $90,000 increase of your rent. I was
For
like,
a one event?
I was like, yeah, for a 3-day, I think it's 3 days they do this. I was like, what?
30 grand more a day.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yep. And she's like, and they insisted that we include 3 meals a day that we pay for. If we don't use all those meals, we have to pay for them. Like if we don't sell them.
Mm-hmm.
They had provided like a coffee
so
bar.
Food minimum. And wow.
Yes, it was nuts. And I was like, that's insane. I was like, how much? Because I've been to these shows for about a decade.
Yeah.
If not longer. RJ and I are like 2 of maybe 30 people walking around them. I was like, how is that even affordable? Each vendor pays almost $8,000 to be there.
Jeez.
That's crazy. I was like, man, shows are expensive. So, in typical Secret Caverns fashion, we bought nothing.
We spent all day at the show and got nothing.
Well, no, I got to put some orders together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because like when we go, we walk around, and then the whole car ride back, we discuss
talk about what you actually want. Yeah,
and I have to put a cup of order together. I get to do that again this year.
Nice.
And what you call it? I guess we're ordering more shit seasoning.
Yeah.
Yep. I found.
So that is the brand name.
Yes.
Like this is not us saying it's garbage.
Yeah.
I misunderstood because I only heard the shit part and not the seasoning. And but now circling back.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
There is a brand of seasoning called shit seasoning. So apparently RJ is still on that.
Yeah. So like there's like chicken shit and all kinds of stuff. The box it comes in is called the whole shit and caboodle. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah, I didn't think you'd be ordering more. There's like one box of that hiding on the top shelf at the cave still. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, that's going to be there forever. But nope, there's more coming.
So I went to find a t-shirt vendor because I was informed last year that I no longer have to make the t-shirts for the cave.
Yay!
And I was really happy about that, even though the end of last year I spent making all the shirts for the cave.
All the shirts,
and hoodies and stuff. I don't mind doing it sometimes. I don't like when it's like my full-time gig there.
Yeah.
I don't. But making the art's cool, so I'll just keep doing that. I did not find a t-shirt vendor. I didn't even look because we got distracted.
Yeah. As is wont to happen at such a large convention.
Yep. I found a hot sauce person who white labels.
Nice.
So, probably going to be making some hot sauce for Jack.
Awesome.
So he can sell, and I'll probably be bringing some of that to shows so he can sell it. We're just going to do it.
Not going to use your buddy who makes hot sauce?
Chris?
Yeah.
No.
He makes really good stuff, but yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't use him for white label.
To nail him down to do anything requires like a 6-hour venture into listening to all of his accolades or whatever.
Yeah, he asked me to come to his house to get something. Biggest mistake ever. It's a long conversation.
He's a cool dude.
He is.
He's a cool dude, but like
I don't always have the 6 hours I need, though.
So the price that this person... So they make like a whole fleet of hot sauces. 3 of their sauces were featured on Hot Ones.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Yeah.
They're really, really hot ones. They do not white label those for safety reasons. I guess their insurance is covered, some nonsense she gave me.
Plus, if you get that kind of feature, you don't want to just give that out to your other customers.
Right. So there are, there's like 3 or 4 labels that they'll white label. I'm going to contact her and see if I can just buy the 3 bottles so that Jack can taste test them and figure out which one he likes the best. The price to get it is low enough to where Jack could resell it at a reasonable
That's cool.
price, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think Chris could do that.
No.
His hot sauce is really good.
Yeah, that mole one is insane. I keep a gallon jug of that.
They'll do the label. But I have to buy 1,000 labels.
Okay.
Which, we don't have to use them all. They'll just hold on to them for reorders.
Yeah.
She will just send us the empty bottles, blank bottles, and then I can get labels from like Sticker Mule or something. But I have to send them a copy of the label so they can approve the ingredients list and things and make sure that it's all
accurate.
Yep. So
that's pretty cool. So you could still design it.
Yep. So that was pretty exciting.
Get that together before June, so we have
we are. We are.
A nice Jack table.
Yeah. Yeah. I would love to be able to sell Jack's hot sauce. I wonder if they'll tweak it. See, that's the thing. If I dealt with Chris, he would tweak it for Jack. But
I'll start with the ones they have. Maybe one's already perfect.
Yeah. I didn't taste any because hot sauce is like your thing. Poison to me.
I've noticed. Well, this tobacco smokes as well as when I got it. Very nice burning.
Tastes good.
I don't get an overwhelming McClelland aspect of it, which is fine. I'm not looking for that. If I wanted that, I'd open a tin of McClelland. I like the homage. Yeah, it's good stuff. Pipe smoke's great.
Yep.
That reverse calabash chamber, really, I don't actually believe reverse calabash chambers do anything. I just know people love them, and I love them, even though I don't think they do anything. So when I saw the option on these to do so, I decided to engineer it. But I really wanted to smoke one right before they got mailed out to anybody.
Yeah. It's a good smoking pipe, as could be expected.
Yeah. I mean, I expected it to work well, but right before I sent it out, I wanted to make sure I tried it first. Which, all right.
Yep. I like the swoosh top on the bowl. It's very, 70s to me.
Yeah, yep.
Very disco.
Yeah, I keep trying to figure out if I, messed up the bending of the stem or something, but it's all just because of optical illusions. Every angle changes from every direction you look at it. I guess really there's no way to get this one wrong. It's the stem is aligned with the shank in itself, but every other way you look at it, it's like, wait, what's happening here?
Because you can't follow the plane to the top of the chamber because there's no way you could. So whatever, I think it works good. Hangs in the mouth nice.
Yeah, I bent it more than I would like it bent.
Yeah,
because it's what fits the pipe.
Yep.
And with that you're definitely going to get some creep on the back of the rim the way it's bent. It's going to hang like this, and you're going to get creep on the back. That's true of almost every bent pipe besides maybe an Oompal.
Yep. A lot of creeps in pipes.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. Watch out.
Yep.
But yeah, I designed it to work best and look best. If it were truly meant for me, I would have cut that bend in about half.
Probably, yeah. But I like it.
Which brings me right to a nice little K-Woody collector corner. Actually, before I mail these out to anybody. So everybody knows I've been working on another batch of K-Woody pipes. And everybody knows that I started selling to Missouri Meerschaum so they could boost their Briar department with a nice standard on top of all the artisan stuff. And so it turns out that those are doing well. And so when this batch was done, Missouri Meerschaum will be receiving all of the Berkshire finishes. So keep your eyes peeled. There will be many more K-Woodies over at corncobpipe.com. All of the standards and super grains and connoisseurs are staying with me. So greywoodie.com will finally have an update again of the smaller sample size of the quote-unquote higher grade pipes. I mean, we're talking $5 price differences, but hey, it's higher grade, I guess. So yeah, standard, super grains, and connoisseurs will be hitting the website probably within a day of release of this, and Missouri Meerschaum will be listing them when they get a chance. I don't know when that may be.
Awesome.
But on that note, might as well do some uncanny updates too.
Okay. Go ahead.
Corncobpipe.com got a new shipment of uncanny pipes.
They did, that's true.
And they did arrive. They did just get listed at the time of recording and are already selling. So maybe by Monday there'll be a pipe or two left for you.
Yeah, maybe. I believe, is it Rachel that's taking the photos of these pipes?
It was Rachel. Brett has been taking over.
Brett's doing, you know what, Rachel and Brett, you're doing an awesome job taking pictures of pipes.
They both have done amazing work with the photographs.
Yep. I am super pleased that Uncanny is working out for Missouri Meerschaum. I'm also not, because that means that I have to just make more pipes.
Yeah, you found the right audience, and it's great that it's working out, but it is more than what you necessarily were planning to be producing.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. And I just keep making my finishes and rustications and whatever you want to call them are improving.
Yeah. Yeah, this batch was a really cool selection of a bunch of different variations is probably a good way to put it. They're not completely different, but they're variations on a theme.
Right.
And then over the last few days, you've been knocking out this lunar thing that's just stunning.
Yep. Started with Lunar Blue, the Canadian that I sent them.
Yep.
Which sold immediately. And I was like, cool. Yeah, I guess I got to keep making work on my lunar thing. So there's a lot of work that goes into them, even though they don't seemingly at base value, upon first glance, look like they would take any more work than a Sea Witch.
Right.
But they absolutely do.
Yeah.
There's like 5 extra steps to it.
Yeah, they actually, to somebody who hasn't seen you work, I could see where the lunar might actually look like it's easier than Sea Witch.
Yeah.
And a dumbed down version of it in the sense of the work that goes into it. But I've seen you work and realized that it's probably actually more work.
Yeah. So I just finished yesterday a pipe that we've called Lunar Moss. And sold immediately. Not on Missouri Meerschaum. But
yeah, heads up. We still do special things for our Discord channel. So if you've ever wanted a chance at some of those exclusives, like in full transparency, the last batch that went to Missouri Meerschaum for me, not the Berkshires, but the Blasts. There were a couple of my signature Lovets in there.
Yep.
And one that was an obscenely beautiful red root that I would have normally kept for myself. And instead I put it up on Discord to see if somebody wanted it.
Right.
So there's always that going on. If you've ever wanted some of our favorite pieces, the best way to do that is to hop on our Discord and watch out for when we go, you know what? These guys really keep us alive. Let's throw something here for fun.
Right. Yeah. Love that Discord. Love you guys on Discord. You're pretty great. So I just finished up when you got here. Working on a rustication project. Trying to get pipes to look rusty.
Yeah.
I succeeded because I would do nothing less than succeed.
Yep. No, it is very rusty. I love it.
I would, it is a love it. Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Didn't even mean that one. Awesome.
Another thing, I don't know if I mentioned it on the last podcast. I'm also, on top of working on new finish techniques and stuff, I've also been working on different bowl coating techniques.
Mm-hmm.
Did I mention that?
I think we may have briefly mentioned that they matched, but I don't think we got into what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. So I've been working on developing colored bowl coating, inspired obviously by Yellow Bowl, which I miss.
Mm-hmm.
Rest in peace, Yellow Bowl. And trying to figure out a way. I know that we talked about the Yellow Bowl coating and what it actually is.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are really scared about that, but I would just like to remind everyone that shellac is food grade.
Mm-hmm.
I don't use shellac in my bowl coatings. I use something else that's
truly food.
Yeah. And it works out for me. But shellac you can eat because if you eat any kind of gummy bears or whatever, or candy, you're eating shellac.
Mm-hmm.
They coat all hard candies with shellac.
Yep.
Usually. So eat it. It's good for you. Yum, yum.
Lick your bowls.
It's nice. Shellac or carnauba wax.
Mm-hmm.
Both are edible. But don't take a bite out of the block.
No,
I know you. I see your gears spinning right now.
It smells so good when
it does.
So that's how I know when I have enough wax on the wheel. Is as soon as you smell that sweetness, you have just enough on. If you smell that too long, you're going to get streaks because it's packing it on.
Chunky. Yeah, it's
and once you get a chunk of wax on a pipe, it takes so much longer to get that off.
So with the way that I like put these like rustications on, I have to do like many little coats of carnauba wax because the type of wheels that I use create fibers.
Yes.
And they get stuck in the wax. So sometimes when you give me all your rent money for an uncanny pipe, you might notice that it's a little furry.
Yeah.
I can't do anything about that unless I strip the whole pipe down and then try to do it again. I do my best to keep those fibers out, but that's usually because there might be too much wax on it. I'm trying to make it really shiny for you because I care for some reason.
Yeah, I was just talking to another pipe maker yesterday as I was working on waxing and buffing, and they were talking about they've used my wheels and talking about how hard my wheels are and how it's really advantageous because the fibers and all of that are a thing of the past when you use these. However, they were saying the one time they tried to do it, every time they tried to buff the top of the bowl, the rim, it was going out of shape.
Yeah.
Because these wheels are so hard and so large and so fast and aggressive that you'll actually buff a flat when you're supposed to be rounding with it.
Yeah, your wheels terrify me. That's why I don't come over and buff on your wheels.
They are terrifying. And then, man, once you know how to use them, it's a fraction, maybe a tenth of the time that you spend buffing, you can do it.
Yep.
But boy, do you have to know what you're doing or it's all going downhill.
Yep.
And I only had one yesterday shoot. So it's real easy. Any buffing wheel will grab once in a while. But this one, when it grabs, it is going like 300 miles an hour toward the floor.
Yeah.
So unlike Bill, I currently have a rubber mat under mine.
Yeah, smart.
And so the one that shot off, if it hits in the wrong spot, it doesn't matter. It's going to break the tenon. It's going to crack the shank. Any of those things happen. These are not from that. These cracked shanks are just flaws in the wood that you don't see until it's too late. But so if it hits on the stem or something and lands wrong, it's still bad. But the rubber mat has saved me where it doesn't leave a giant ding in the wood when it hits, and I can just resand and rebuff in a matter of moments. So I had no losses to the buffing wheel, but when I was first really learning on these back in Bill's shop before I moved everything, when I started the Greywoodie line, I lost probably 20 pipes to the buffing wheel just snagging.
As I know that the economy is like really crappy right now, but I had an idea yesterday as I was looking around my shop at all the broken pipes that I've lost to like wheel grabs my unbridled rage.
I keep boxes of that crap.
So you're not making. I remember Eric a couple years ago was like, "You should make a lamp out of all of these," and I told him he was stupid.
Now,
but I think I might make a lamp out of them.
Now it's dawning on you
for many dollars. So if you want a lamp made of broken uncanny stumbles, save up your pennies. Maybe skip Muletown this year.
Skip Muletown.
No, don't. They need you.
No,
go.
Do not go. Yeah.
Yep.
Do not skip that. And that actually brings me right up to the next thing. Muletown is in 2 weeks.
Yay!
And while I cannot be there because I'm sold out of pipes again, and I need to make more. Muletown is a fantastic show. This year, there are going to be some amazing people. It is Sutliff's last show. Missouri Meerschaum will be there. So I will be there. Missouri Meerschaum will bring some K-Woodies, perhaps some Uncannies if they remain long enough.
Right.
Or if you mail them more again.
I'll mail them more.
So it's going to be a really good time, and you should go no matter what if you have the financial capability and time off of work, etc. On top of that, though, we have spoken in veiled methods about this, and we have been more open about it more recently, but I think it's good to revisit Sweated, the tobacco. That is Sweated, Sweated, for those who had trouble. Sweated will be released at Muletown. It is a limited run. It is the last new Sutliff tobacco to be released. So we, I don't know how much we've said in the past. I'm just going to revisit it because it's really cool. So this is a Virginia Perique, all aged, all really cool stuff that was meant to be thrown out and instead baked in a, the Connex? Is that the clear ones?
Sure.
The hogshead?
Yes. Yeah.
Set in a Connex in the Virginia sun, sweating away, thus the name. So it's like it got stoved and aged at the same time at an obscenely rapid change.
Yeah, in a very environmentally friendly way for those of you that care about that.
Yeah. So it's like if you'd aged your tobacco for 10 years already, and to pair that with the fact that those tobaccos were aged before this process, it's an incredibly unique tobacco. But then it gets better, because once we discovered how amazing that was, Jeremy and Jonathan then went ahead and put it in port barrels.
Yep.
And it spent, I think, over 6 months in port barrels. And so I was just on the phone with Jeremy when he had just cracked those barrels finally to start pressing this, because as of recording, it's not even pressed yet. So cracked those barrels, and I think it's fair to quote him in his comment of, "I'm not going to say it's like McClelland, but boy, did it smell like McClelland." It had that tang and that richness and everything you expect from a McClelland blend.
Yep.
But then because of the port barrel, it has this fruity berry undertone on top of that.
Wow. I bet you it's great.
Yeah. So I am obscenely excited. We've tried it pre-barrel on an initial test press. And I still have some of it for anybody who comes to my house and I share tobacco with.
Yep.
I don't even tend to take that one to shows just because it's hard to keep track of. And it's an 8-ounce brick of tobacco.
Yep.
But yeah, so it will be pressed. It will probably be half-pound bricks in the box that you design the artwork for.
Yep.
It will only be released at Muletown. All expectations, of course, are that it will sell out there. So if you're not at Muletown, that is yet another thing you will miss out on. Besides all the fun and the awesome vendors and the great atmosphere that Briarworks puts on. So yeah, you should go get some Sweated. And I'm going to, just be sad because I am not going. So I will not be getting it there.
Right.
But yeah, don't skip Muletown. We were kidding. We did have, while we're on, more community-related events, we had asked for slow smoke music for Capital Land this year.
Oh.
And I'd forgotten to mention it. Again, we've been kind of so pre-recorded or out of time on these episodes for a bit, getting some interviews and whatnot. So we had Michael Bergstrom recommend Sarah McLachlan Angel. And maybe get like the SPCA to come along during the slow smoke and pawn off animals.
Oh, yeah.
So there's recommendation number 1 for slow smoke music.
Okay. I guess that's on me, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I'll think about it.
Yeah, if you're the UPCA contest manager for Chicago, I think it would only make sense that you would manage the contest in Capital Land, too.
Yep. Yeah. Yes.
So get your requests in if you had any other great ideas. We may not use any of them, but we enjoy the laughs. We may not even read them on the show. We may just laugh at them privately.
Yep.
That's some of what we do. I'm sorry. If you lived with us all the time, you could really wonder about your life choices as well.
Right.
I do see a wonderful e-pour cup in front of me.
Yeah, wonderful. It's great.
Thought maybe we were due for a little update on some packages you've been receiving.
I received a package with this fine travel mug in it that has e-pour on it. You know, I just gotta reiterate how much I hate Eeyore. Any of that gross Winnie the Pooh crap. The only thing I like from Winnie the Pooh is the concept of poo bearing.
Yes.
I like that.
Sometimes looking in a mirror is hard.
For those of you at home that don't know, poo bearing is when you walk around your home, hopefully not in public, at your home.
Preferably at home.
With nothing but a t-shirt on.
Yeah.
Like Winnie the Pooh.
Just like Winnie.
So yeah, I got this it's actually a really nice
really
tumbler with some garbage all over it. And Eeyore spelled wrong. It says e-pour. So I also in the package received this pretty sweet backwoods hat.
Yeah. Yeah, you did get a really nice brown beanie with the backwoods logo.
Yep. It's nice.
It fits your head perfectly. Mm-hmm. It is a very good cold shop day hat.
Yep.
But then you're going to ruin the nice logo, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to just...
I've had that struggle in my shop where I'm like, this makes a great shop jacket or shop shirt or hat. Mm-hmm. And then it gets destroyed because it's in my shop. And I start having to make that decision of, this looks cool in the shop. Should I wear it at shows instead so it looks like what I would wear in the shop instead of the gross things that I actually wear in the shop? I like to talk about the K-Woody red, the permanent stain on everything that goes into the K-Woody shop. Mm-hmm. And I laughed about it. And then finally, Tessa was the first one. I walked in one day recently. The buffing wheel throws so much powder everywhere, even with the dust collector on, which I did get set up for that now. And I came in for a minute, and Tessa's like, it looks like you murdered somebody in your shop. And I'm like, what? So my hands have this deep red stain from the buffing wheel throwing. Actually, it's mostly from when you first buff the stain off. A lot of these old K-Woody stains have powders in them as part of it. Yep. So it just rubs off on your hands while you're buffing it off the pipe.
Yep.
And then that gets on your pants and it soaks in. So like I've washed these pants. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter. They will always now have this. And it looks like watered down bloodstains everywhere.
Right.
And so she's like, yeah, it really looks like you killed somebody. So I wear like brown and yellow. It looks good when you first start wearing it in the shop. And then eventually the yellows and the browns and the reds all blur together into this really gross, off-putting color.
Yep.
And I always wondered why all of Bill's jeans were that color. And now I know that it is unavoidable. Everything, 5 minutes in the shop and you are looking at a permanent weird stain.
So I got this thing at Tractor Supply. This shirt. This is my shop shirt. It's the first smart thing I ever did because I just ruin all my clothes all the time. Mm-hmm. You can see I wear it when I paint up the cave.
Yeah.
In the shop. It's like a ripstop. It's a work shirt.
It's nice, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I got the coveralls, and that was a really good idea. But in the winter, I'm so layered up that the coveralls start to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I think as soon as I'm not like base layer, and then another base layer, and then clothing, and then overclothing, I might switch back to the coveralls.
Yeah.
Which are an unfortunate gray for the Greywoody shop. Mm-hmm. And they're going to get really gross really fast. Yeah. That gray and that red are going to
look amazing.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, man.
Going to be leopard colors. That'd be great.
Leopard colors. We do have some new fan mail.
Oh, I like fan mail. Is that my job?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I didn't see that we got a fan mail alert, so thank you for...
Well, we haven't read it in a while, so I figured it was off your radar because I actually don't remember the last one we read because it's been so long, so I figured it was worth...
Mm-hmm.
I know the newest one we haven't, but I couldn't remember
the newest one we didn't read?
Yeah.
Okay. So we received a fan mail on February 10th. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
From Fayetteville, North Carolina, and it says, "Hey guys, amazing episode this week, making me feel less black-pilled about the future of the hobby. Thanks for the quality content. Oh, and my first pen order should be here this week. Ordered a couple of TWSBI Ecos and some Noodlers inks. Excited to try them out."
It's really nice that they went with one of your major recommendations and one of my major recommendations together.
Yes.
Awesome.
So yeah, if you're starting out in the fountain pen world, TWSBI is the way to go, as far as I'm concerned.
It's really hard to beat an Eco for a first.
I want to recommend Lamy like so bad.
I love Lamy Safaris,
but like TWSBIs are just better.
Mm-hmm. But if they're looking to get into cartridges first, it really is Lamy at that point.
Yep. Yep. And,
some people aren't ready for a bottle of ink.
And most of these, like the bigger ink companies, do make cartridges, like Diamine. Every color they make, I believe they make in a cartridge.
There's been a major expansion in cartridge availability.
Yeah. It's just it's cleaner, like I guess, but it's also more wasteful.
Yeah. And then people start refilling their cartridges. Yeah. So, I mean, it is more wasteful. Like, a big part of why I got into pens was the fact that I wasn't throwing almost anything out.
Right.
And a bottle of ink lasts a decade, so it's not like you're tossing glass all the time either.
Right.
Which, of course, could be repurposed, especially if you own a pipe shop.
You know, it's also been a while since I've looked at TWSBI. How much is an Eco?
I don't know what. Yeah, that's a good point. Everything's gone up. I have no idea what it is now.
You can get. Oh boy, that's not it. What? Oh, that's a fancy one. Well, don't go on jet pens because they're like really expensive on jet pens.
So jet pens, your Japanese brands are going to be really nice, but your European stuff is going to be overpriced.
Right. Yeah.
However, jet pens gets your stuff there in like a day and a half.
Yeah, it's like lightning fast. So,
and you get a comic with everyone.
Yeah. Who doesn't like comics? Let's see. On the TWSBI website, geez. This is really hard to navigate.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
So you got to scroll through all the Diamond series, which is the ones that I use, and their prices went up. A diamond is now $65. That's nuts.
Okay. Wow. Yeah.
The aluminum diamonds are $84.99 now.
Jeez.
Oh no, $65. That was a special one. Oh man. That's pretty. Oh man! Oh no, I'm not buying that. I don't need another pen.
Let me price things. Ooh, add to cart.
This is a mistake. Why did I do this?
You knew what was going to happen.
So yeah, I haven't been on TWSBI in a while, and
looks like I need to order.
All right. So anyway, a TWSBI Eco Clear is $32.99 right from TWSBI, which is
great.
I only order TWSBIs from TWSBI. It makes no sense to go third party unless it's a special.
Yeah, they're exclusives, but
oh my god, I can't afford.
I only order TWSBIs from other companies when I'm already ordering a bunch of stuff.
I'm going to show you a TWSBI, and you're going to be like, "Why don't you own that?" And I'm going to slap you if you say I need to buy it.
Prepare to slap.
So they made a TWSBI Diamond 580 aluminum Caribbean with onyx fountain pen. Why is this so beautiful? I'm not buying that.
Oh wow! Yep, that is a Eugene pen.
I'm not buying it. Sorry, TWSBI, not today. Add to cart. Oh, this is hard. So the problem, like TWSBI Extra Fine, is like my preferred standard and extra fine.
Yeah.
Especially in a 580. I can't do it. I shouldn't know. I'm not doing it. Yep. But yeah, I would recommend for most people to go with just a fine on a TWSBI because it's like most others extra fine.
Yeah.
I love their little explanation of their nib sizes. If you write small, go with an EF. That's me. For a normal writer, F is the most popular. If you tend to lean on a bigger font, medium would be perfect. Bold is for statements.
Mm-hmm.
Like bank statements.
Yeah, then get red.
Yeah. And their stub nibs are pretty good. I believe they're 1.1.
They're 1.1s. They're fine.
Yep. They're not. They're stubs.
I knew. They're okay.
Yep.
They're not my favorite stub, but they are. Mm-hmm. If you're dipping your toes in stub nibs, that's the way to go.
Right.
Not everybody is ready for 1.5s and above, and you really have to know if your writing style can fit that.
True.
So starting with a 1.1 is a nice way to find out if you're that weirdo like me who decides to write everything ever again in stub nib. So
I would recommend a TWSBI Eco. Obviously, over that is the 580 is just a better pen. At the price point, you can get the similar price point in a Narwhal, which are excellent pens. Any of their originals. I prefer the original, not the original plus. I'm not a big back filler guy.
Yeah, we've had problems with the original plus, and TWSBI never replied to my emails about it. It's really handy. They're usually really good, but this one thing, just every time I try to contact them, I'm ignored.
Yep. So like, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's enough pen talk. Sorry, Greg.
Sorry. All right. Feedback of the week. Nice. Midnight early release on YouTube. Thanks, Rob.
Thanks, Rob.
Heads up, everybody. All of our episodes always come out at midnight. Eugene and Mrs. Some Jerk have been working really hard to get the YouTube videos released at the same time as our regular episode releases.
Right.
If you aren't used to seeing that, that might have felt like an early release, but in fact, all of our episodes come out at midnight.
Yep.
Other than when we're late, but that's been a rarity. There were times where that became common, but I think for a year now, it's been pretty much midnight.
Yeah, I really, I try. I'm trying. Yep, they come out at the same time. Yeah. You're welcome.
As far as other feedback, though, we do appreciate. We got a lot of tips as we talked about kind of the struggles of pipe makers and the fact that factories are kind of a thing of the past and how we're all adapting to that. And there were a lot of very helpful listeners who had suggestions and ideas and were interested in being of assistance to those of us who struggle day in and day out with weather.
Yeah.
Which is really nice. Lately, it's been warmer again here. We're hitting 40-degree temperatures, which makes the shop a lot better. My heat turns off at some point throughout the day, which is really neat because it costs a lot less money when it doesn't run all day.
Yep.
In fact, I just turned it off because it finally was so warm in the shop that the heat was making me overwarm. And that's the other problem. So you sit in the cold with heat on you.
Yep.
Then you get all flushed. And then you go inside and it's cold in your house. You're like, wait a minute. No, this isn't supposed to make living hard. But yeah, so thanks for all the feedback. We didn't talk too much in the last shortened episode either. We did get a ton of feedback on the Max episode. That's what the mailbag fan mail was. We did get a lot of people who were really happy to hear from Max and hear a more positive spin on things. And when I say positive spin, I mean in a good way, though, not like spinning a tale. People felt like he was genuine and gave them some hope for moving forward. So I did want to kind of thank everybody who reached out about the Max. We've been wrapped up in things. But that Max interview, not only did we get a lot of feedback and a lot of positive comments about how good it made them feel, but it also eked into our top 5, knocking KBV out of the top 5 episodes ever. So good job, Max. Thanks for coming on.
I have a feedback.
Yeah.
All right. So my feedback came from someone about so every week you post announcements that the episodes are out.
I completely forgot this week.
You did, and that's fine.
I was like, why didn't nobody tell me something about that?
I don't know. I usually look and didn't this week.
Yeah, well, we've both been literally in the shop nonstop. So.
the feedback that I got was that you usually post the Buzzsprout link and then you've included the YouTube link. You need to put a space because people think that link that you post is solid.
Okay.
So they're only clicking the Buzzsprout.
Well, and it went even more off kilter this week because I accidentally pulled the admin link for Buzzsprout. So I had to go back and emergency edit everything. I mean, it doesn't matter. It just asks you to log in. But it was a broken link for that. So I had to go back and edit. So it was probably worse than usual because when you edit posts, it doesn't always reflect the spacing that you put into it afterward.
Right.
But no, good tip. I will keep that in mind.
Cool.
Break them apart by a line and don't post the admin link.
Yep, something like that.
It's because my phone updated and it's trying to do this helpful thing where I have a ton of browser tabs open at all times because I reference all of them a lot.
Right.
And my browser decided to start separating out the ones it thinks I use less and put them in a separate tab of tabs. And so it moved a bunch of that stuff that I don't use every day, but when I need it, it needs to be there.
Right.
And so it moved the regular Buzzsprout link over, but it kept the admin logged in Buzzsprout link where it was. So when I clicked on it, I thought I was on my old link, but I was on the admin link. And it was really, really annoying. So yeah, here, pull back the curtain. I have to keep Buzzsprout open, both logged in and anonymously at the same time, so I can send you guys the right links, but that I can still use all of the admin features of the website. Because yes, if you pull them off as an admin, it gives you a totally different link.
Yeah.
Fun stuff. Most people would be, for somebody who's borderline OCD some of the times, most people would be really afraid to see my browsers because I have so much junk that I have to be able to rapidly access, especially during the show. That's one of the worst times is I have all these things ready, and they can't just go away on me. All right. Producers are staring at us. I think we're talking too much in general, but time for a commercial break. This episode of The Grey Woody Show is brought to you by Dr. Ron's Oral Cream. With tobacco prices soaring and all of your favorite blends disappearing from the market, have you found yourself smoking roll-your-own Virginias to fill the void? If so, you may be experiencing tongue bite that mouth rinses, Biotine, and all other solutions fail to relieve. Well, relieve yourself with Dr. Ron's Oral Cream. Before bed, rub a small ball of oral cream on your tongue. It will leave behind a residue overnight. A residue with seemingly magical restorative properties, making your mouth perfectly refreshed for tomorrow's subpar smoke. Dr. Ron's Oral Cream for smokers.
And welcome back to the Grey Woody Show.
Welcome back.
Good times. Good times.
Good times. All right, more special community involvement with dumb questions from the internet.
All right.
Can anyone recommend an orthopedic doc?
Yes. Do I have an orthopedic doctor? And where?
Right.
I could recommend you. I don't think I have an orthopedic doctor, actually.
I don't. Nope.
No.
Yeah. Pipe groups are for things outside of pipes. Also. Maybe not this.
Yeah, no, yeah. No.
I'm going to go with nope.
No. Final answer, no.
Fill my Caribe. Good thing I have this handy-dandy backup tobaccopipes.com bic. My Caribe just ran out of fluid. Ball jars are great, but I cannot resist an empty spaghetti sauce jar. Do you have any tips for removing the smell?
I would. You know what I would do to remove the smell? I'd take the jar.
Yeah.
And I would fill it full of garbage. And put the top on it and throw it in the garbage.
Yep.
And then go buy a ball jar.
Yes.
They don't smell. They come smell free. Can't resist a spaghetti jar, sauce jar. I don't think I've ever heard a sentence like that in my life.
I know. That's why this one made it on. I just kind of stared at that in disbelief for a while. Like, I don't know what about a spaghetti jar makes you think, yeah, I really have to put my tobacco in this.
Right.
It's a weird response.
I mean, I'd probably like fill it with baking soda.
Yeah. I mean, I think the first step, not everybody has one, but commercial dishwashers are amazing.
Yeah.
If you know somebody with a commercial kitchen, just maybe ask them to wash your spaghetti.
My dishwasher is amazing.
I know.
I don't, my regular crappy side of the road dishwasher does a really good job taking smells out of glass.
Yeah, because glasses shouldn't really retain smells. But a spaghetti jar kind of always smells like spaghetti.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I would never put tobacco in it.
It's never occurred to me, right? You know, and like Bill had one of those habits. He couldn't resist Italian import tomato cans for his stains. But for mixing it and for applying it, not for storing anything.
Right.
So like my benches are still full of all of his old imported Italian tomato cans.
Yep.
They were the perfect thing for dip staining, for rag staining, etc. I don't use those. I use little glass cups because I can get the stain out of glass a lot easier than tin. Oh, they're not tin anymore, but my wife makes fun of me because I still say tin can when they're aluminum cans.
Whatever. It's a tin can.
Right. Apparently.
She's making fun of you for that.
Right. Apparently people don't say school teacher anymore either.
Oh, really? And people have never said sheet blanket.
True, yeah. There is no sheet blanket. Man, Jay said that this weekend.
Did he?
We were helping my stepson move back to Oregon, and he said something about a sheet blanket, and I just rolled my eyes and walked away. I was like, nope, she's rubbed off. No, I'm done.
Yep, I'm done with you. Be gone, kid. You're ruined forever.
Maybe I'm overthinking this, but why does tamping work? I mean, I know if I light tobacco in a saucer, it goes out unless I blow on it. How does tamping work?
Are you kidding me? I don't even know.
So you put your tobacco in an enclosed chamber with only the top open, so it retains the heat and all of those things. And then tobacco expands as it burns, so the ember keeps lifting higher and higher. And when you tamp that ember back down, it touches new tobacco. And then the ash on top insulates that heat and holds it all in so that your ember can keep doing its job.
Yay,
you are overthinking it. Just push ember down.
It's thermodynamics, guys.
Yeah. Where are all the new pipers in this group? Especially those of us who may be struggling with funds.
I think you just answered your questions. People can't afford to smoke pipes.
Yeah.
They're busy buying food for their family.
Well, and that's it. If they're struggling with funds and not buying stuff, they might just not be hanging out in the tobacco groups telling them to buy things.
What does that have to do with... No, all right.
No.
That's a question. I don't know. These are hurting my brain today.
I know. I was...
Causing me to glitch out.
I was a little concerned over the past couple of weeks as I've been building these up of like what is happening to our pipe groups. And I think we need a little shake up and refresh. But yeah, there is literally a group for those of you who are struggling financially or just don't believe in spending that kind of money. And that is the Leaps.
Leaps, yeah. I was kicked out of Leaps.
Yeah, I know. Low end and affordable pipe society. That is a place of people who don't believe in spending too much money on their pipes or tobacco.
Great.
So there you go. That's where all those newbies are, or people who are veterans and just don't like spending much.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Just it's a weird post.
Nothing wrong with the pores.
Guess what? That's who the pipe makers are too.
Yeah.
We can't afford pipes. That's why we make them.
Yep. We have to sell every pipe we get. Can't afford to keep it.
Got bit by a dog and am a little depressed.
Me too.
But my Peterson 701 spigot came in. Any advice? It's my first Briar and my first Peterson. This was with pictures of his face bitten up by a dog.
Oh, this poor guy.
I think we could have left that first half off and just asked for advice with your first Peterson, but that's just me.
I'd put some tobacco in it and smoke it. That's my advice.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Load it up,
Mhm.
smoke it.
Don't offer it to the dog. That's probably why he got bit. Dog was like, that's not made of meat.
Yeah.
Oh, that poor guy. That's awful.
Stop trying to smoke with your dog. Load up your Peterson with whatever tobacco you have.
All right. Let me see that again.
Oh.
Pull that up again.
I will not be sharing this because you guys can probably find it on your own, but I don't want to be the one responsible for that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. That's awful. The only advice I have for you, buddy, is cut your goddamn nails.
I knew that's where you were going
Oh,
to
my
go.
God. Why?
I think I actually sent you a screenshot of just that.
You did. You did. And I was really mad at you.
Without the context of the dog bite.
Look, if you're a working man out doing some like manly stuff or whatever, and you get some punk under your nails, it's to be expected.
Yeah.
You know, like, but if you're just a dude laying around without your shirt on, getting bit by dogs, waiting for a package or your pipe to come, cut your goddamn nails. Why would you post that picture?
Look at the palm of the hand.
No. No, I don't want to look at that anymore. I'm over it. I'm over it, guys. Cut your goddamn nails.
Yeah. So I've been busy in the shop, and literally while we're here recording,
Yeah, I'm watching you scrape all the shit out from under your nails.
I use my poker on my tamper to clean the underneath of my nails
Yeah.
because I'm no longer in the shop.
Mhm.
It didn't come out in the shower.
You know how easy it is to find something to clean the shit out from under your nails? Like you could literally use a fold up piece of paper.
Yeah.
Like you could do anything.
Bic pens.
Yeah.
Those little plastic bits on the end of the cap. Yep.
Yeah. That's what it's for. It's for cleaning out your
that's
gross
why they
nails.
put it on there.
Come on, guys. Really. You're killing me with this. And it's not just a dog bite guy. It's a lot of you.
No, I know. We're being a little harsh to Dog Bite
Mhm.
Man, but this is like, we probably every 3 days send each other a picture of somebody from a pipe group who
Yeah.
posted their hand.
For real. And you do it on purpose because you know it grosses me out.
Yes.
And I don't like it.
And I actually didn't post, so I'm really amused running the buffer all day. I buff my one thumbnail down. It's actually super thin now,
Mhm.
and it looks like glass. You see how shiny and nice
really
that is?
pretty. Yeah.
You guys are paying those nail shops too much money. I can do your nails for you.
Mhm.
They are the highest gloss I've ever seen on a nail. And I couldn't post the picture. I was going to put a video of it because you can only really see it when it moves and the light goes across it. And I was going to throw that in the Discord. But again, I've been in the shop for a long time. So I skipped that video just to not piss you off this time.
Oh, thank you.
But I do it on purpose sometimes.
Sometimes. It's just that one thing. It's you know what? That and this Eeyore shit has got my blood pressure right up. All the medicine they have me on to keep me like alive.
Useless.
You're negating it, right? I'd probably be dead right now if I wasn't all medicated to not die. Clean your goddamn nails. If you can't clean them, cut them off. Why do you even have long dagger nails anyway?
Yeah. That's mine are definitely at that point because
Mhm.
I am like a day away from having to cut mine.
Yeah.
And I just finished in the shop.
Like, I get
if I
it.
were coming anywhere but here,
Yeah.
I
You're in
would
a
have done
dusty,
something.
dirty shop because shops are gross and dirty and whatever. I get it. You're digging through bins and all of that. It makes sense. You're polishing ebonite.
Yeah.
It gets under your nails.
Yep.
I know. Like I cut my nails down to nothing, to like where they bleed sometimes. I cut them too short.
Yep.
And sometimes I wish I don't because I could use my thumbnail to scrape shit off.
Right.
But you know what? I find a tool to do that. Right? Because
it's amazing how many flat things we have laying around.
For real. Like everyone's got a knife.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Unless, well, no, you probably don't.
We live in a world where pocket knives aren't regular anymore. So yeah, there's that.
Jeez. Nail clippers are $1 at Dollar Tree.
And they are designed. There are parts on your nail clippers. Every pair I've ever owned has something for cleaning under your nails.
Yeah, you got the little file, the little pull-out file thing.
Yep.
Like, there's a little tool. I had a nail clippers that had a little knife blade on them.
Yep.
Like, you clean out your nails. We all forget sometimes, but when you're out in public or doing anything with the public, posting pictures of yourself on the internet,
Yeah.
right? I know that the takeaway from your post was that you were supposed to showcase the grotesque holes in your face that a dog did.
But all we could see was your fingers.
But your nasty ass nails, bro. And I don't even care if you're upset with me. I don't care if anyone is upset. You're a bunch of grown-ass human beings. Clean your nails out, and if you can't keep them clean, cut them short.
Yep.
It skeezes me out. It's not just me. A lot of people are gross. You are.
A lot of people are more polite and don't say it, but they're thinking it.
Gross. I'm gonna puke.
Just what qualifies one as a pipe expert?
Clean nails. I'm not done ranting yet. I'll get to your question.
Yeah.
You know, if you're just a regular dude posted on a pipe group, okay, you're still nasty if you have gross ass nails. If you're a professional, like a pipe maker or pipe expert,
yep,
and you're holding pictures of your pipe with your gross whatever,
yep,
dried blood, dead skin from scratching your ass, nails, like in it, like you ought to just be ashamed. You really should. Anyway.
No, and you know that's I will say there is that moment. Okay, pipe makers are the most likely to have gross nails, and you have that moment when a pipe is done, and you're excited to share it with the world. And that's why I have spots in my shop where I can set that pipe down because I know my hands are covered in stain, in bowl coat, in whatever. They're gross because I just made that pipe.
Yeah,
there are guys who throw a glove on. We did an entire episode about that.
Yep.
There are so many ways you can put a glove on. You can set it down. Chances are lighting is better if you set it somewhere and put a light on it.
Yeah,
instead of holding it in your hand. So there are a lot of options.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
we all get it. There's excitement when you finish something.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting to post pictures. It's exciting. You know what else is exciting? Not having gross hands and gross nails that everyone else has to look at.
You know, since you're being so transparent, I will say the one that bugs me the most, the one I send you more, is people who take a picture of their new pipe or their new tobacco on their counter and their gross feet are in the picture.
I know.
Every time somebody does that, I zoom in on their feet and send it right back to them in a private message.
Yeah, put those away. You know, this community is built by hardworking men and women.
Yeah.
People who have, what do they call it, blue collar jobs? I don't know. I'm a pipe making bum. What is my job?
Yeah, we're blue collar now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. People who do a lot of stuff, a lot of physical labor, work with dirty things. Like, I get it. Okay. You come home, but a lot of people come home and like clean themselves up.
Yeah.
And they should be looking at their fingers and being like, oh, it's gross.
Yeah, I had to write a newsletter for one of the organizations I'm a member of. So last night after I, put the finishing touches on everything, I came in and pulled a computer out, looked at my hands once and went, wait a minute, I've not trained. And it was because I was running behind on something. So I'd forgotten the transition and I looked down at my hands and was like, I do not want to touch my computer with these. What am I doing?
Yep.
That's as far as it got. I then washed.
Yeah, I mean...
But I was in a hurry. I was still in shop clothes. I was like, crap, I just got an email that they're mad that I haven't written this newsletter. Yep. So it was a quick transition that I immediately stepped back and was like, no, I'm, I guess, blue collar now.
Let's sum it up. I'm going to sum it up and I'm going to wrap it up, okay? If you look down at your hands and you see that gross punk black shit under your nails, okay? It's time to cut your nails.
Yeah.
If you are, and I'm sorry, it's going to be sexist, if you are a man, there is no reason for you to have inch-long daggers hanging off your nails that have about a quarter of an inch of black shit under them. Like, no reason.
Yeah. Yeah, as a pipe maker, I've always, I know when I have to cut my nails because they immediately are touching things.
Yeah, if that black strip under your nails is tipped by an equal width of white strip.
Right.
Cut it off.
Yeah.
Just cut it off.
Yeah, I don't know how people work with their hands.
They're like
with
giant,
longer
like
nails.
Nosferatu daggers on the ends of their fingers. Like, ooh,
Yeah.
you're not a scary vampire. You look like a dirtbag vampire with dirt under your nails.
Yeah.
Or you could paint your nails, I guess, so that we don't have to see it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
There's one pipe maker who I think goes by that route and just keeps paint on them so you don't notice.
Smart.
Yeah.
It's not me. No, even though like my finger like are all stained up and I got some black stain in there. And when you leave today, I'm going to get the alcohol out and try to get all this off my hands. I can't stand it.
That is one of the pipe maker's best friends is keeping denatured alcohol next to your bench.
Yep.
Not only do you need it on the pipes all the time, but if you
Mhm.
get something on your hands that won't come off, that's going to take it off.
Yeah, it'll pull it right out.
Wow. I didn't expect this whole episode to turn into
Yes, you did.
manicure.
You knew exactly what you were doing when you showed me that picture.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what? Take your dirty ass nails and your leather pants and get the hell out of here.
And if you go to greywoodie.com, I believe I still have some old K-Woody manicure kits.
Buy them. Buy them now.
I think the small ones are left. I had a lot, but the small ones I had like hundreds. So there might be a few of those left. All right. So just what qualifies one as a pipe expert?
Oh, right. That was the question. Time.
Okay.
Time and passion would qualify someone as a pipe expert.
I'm really glad you threw in passion.
I know for a fact that when you get into something, you get into it 200%.
Yeah.
It becomes all consuming. People like that are legion.
Yeah.
If you know where to look. And that's what makes somebody an expert. Time and passion. I would actually put passion over time.
Yes.
You can get there. You can become an expert by time. You can become an expert by the time you put in to be passionate about something.
Yeah.
They're not the same thing. They're not.
Yeah, it's one of the things that drives me crazy is when you get the guy who's like, well, I've smoked a pipe for 40 years and you're doing it wrong. And everything that they say is incorrect. And it's like, time alone is not enough.
Right.
If you're still uneducated and know nothing about pipes but smoke them all the time, that doesn't make you an expert.
Do you remember our first pipe show, the New York Pipe Show?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that guy by the door? Sarah was the one that pointed him out, right? There's this older guy.
Mm-hmm.
He took his pipe and he took the tobacco, and it was mounded.
Yes.
Over the top
like
of the
inch
brim
over.
of the bowl.
Yep.
And he thought he was doing it right.
Yeah.
Right?
Scorching the rim,
Yeah.
leaving behind char.
Yeah. So, yeah, time does not make you an expert solely.
No.
You could slowly become an expert over time. But passion. All right, yeah. It's passion.
No, I like that. That's
Yeah.
really good.
Mhm.
So this came from another podcast, I guess, did an episode where they referred to themselves as experts.
Right.
And so the argument therein later was that it was meant to be tongue-in-cheek.
Right.
But the rampant arguments that came out of that were the reason I threw this in was there are not many people who agree on what makes a pipe expert.
Right.
So I love your answer because, I think the passion that goes into it combined with, passion first, combined with the amount of time that you spend being passionate to learn more
Right.
is where expertise comes in.
Yeah. And then that's diversified because are you a pipe smoking expert? Are you a pipe making expert? I mean, you can be both. Most people are one or the other.
Yeah.
If you're going to be a pipe making expert, this is going to be kind of unpopular. Probably going to get some blowback on this one, but I think that you need to have a base knowledge of engineering.
Yeah.
And you need to have an eye for shape.
Yeah, it's tough because the eye for shape can't really be taught all that much. And looking at a pipe, sometimes you can just say, hey, wow, that's really off-putting. There's something wrong with it.
Yep.
And not even put your finger on it. But some people will still look at that and be like, yeah, no, it's beautiful.
Sure. Right.
So it's really hard to define that.
Yeah.
It's learn that.
Right.
Yeah, I'm definitely in that weird minority that I wanted to be a pipe expert. So I, got into slow smokes and the smoking side of it. And then I made pipes. And then I realized that even being a handmade pipe guy wasn't an expert because I was completely oblivious to all of the other techniques. So then I learned production techniques too. I mean, yeah, you already pointed it out. I'm 200% for everything.
Right.
But despite all of that, I think I would still argue that I'm nowhere near an expert.
I would. Yep. I mean,
every day I spend trying to learn something new.
I refer to you quite often for your expertise.
But not being an expert.
I don't.
An expertise.
Right. If someone were to ask me, I would identify you as an expert. But it really comes from yourself.
Yeah.
Right. And people who identify as experts are few and far between. And quite often, I don't even know what I'm saying right now.
I think in fairness, somebody who calls themselves an expert may not actually be an expert. And
yeah, it's more of a fake it till you make it kind of situation.
Yeah. I have particular expertises.
We don't even use that term in the industry, I don't think. Like in Chicago, at the dinner, it's master and doctor.
Right.
It's not pipe
They don't
expert.
talk about being an expert, right? Yeah.
Right. Because
we're studying and learning.
Right. Yeah. Yep. It's a good day when you drop dead not knowing 100% about anything.
Yeah.
Right. What makes you an expert is your willingness to learn about why you're not an expert. I think that's
Very
more
nice.
important than declaring yourself an expert or wondering what makes you an expert.
Yeah.
You should, till the day you drop dead, be learning about anything, really. That's my personal opinion.
Very nice. I should have finished with that one because that's like a great closing. I do have one more question that isn't going to feel quite so monumental now.
Okay.
Can you use what's left of your cigars, cut them up, and put them in pipe tobacco?
Yep. Should you? No.
No. Yeah, so I gave a detailed answer on the internet to this. Obviously, it's cross-posted, so not everybody would have seen it there, and that's why we have a show. So the detailed answer to this is like, to your point, the way it's asked, can you? Yes. Should you? No. So you can take a fresh cigar and you can cut it up and you can put it in your pipe tobacco or smoke just cut up cigar. A million ways to do that. There are commercial tobaccos out there that use cigar leaf. Awesome. If you're smoking a cigar and you're one of the ones who isn't a rich connoisseur who believes the last like 3 inches of cigar are trash, right, and you're getting down to that last inch and you don't want to be that weirdo who uses a poker and buys all these fancy artisan pokers to stick in your cigar to smoke the nub, you can grab a handy-dandy corncob pipe or anything else and drop that end of the cigar in there and smoke it to its end.
Yep.
Those are both really great ideas. If you're taking a cigar that you smoked, that end of the cigar has, in fact, acted as your filter. And I'm really excited, by the way. My reverse calabash K-Woodies take a pipe cleaner with no problem, and I hadn't even actually tested that. Not for any good reason except that I maybe forgot. So as I'm cleaning my pipe right now, I'm discovering that I engineered it perfectly, and the pipe cleaner goes right through the chamber despite a big gap there with nothing guiding it.
Yeah.
I did well. Very proud.
I'm proud of you, too.
I forgot to test those before I finished them. Anyway, that cigar end has acted as a filter. If you continue smoking it, that's entirely different than letting it dry out and all that added tar and nicotine and mouth goop building up in the end of that cigar and then chopping it up and adding it to your tobacco. It's going to taste like used tobacco.
Yep.
So yeah, if you want to do it, go for it. And I even told them, go try it out. If this is a thing that tickles your fancy, then give it a go. My guess is, spoiler alert, it's going to be gross. Yeah. But that's for you to decide. I don't care if you do it, but my recommendation, of course, would be to not do that. Use cigar leaf in any way you want, but don't use used cigar leaf.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, it's going to be nasty. Yep. You can just take your big nasty dog rocket cigar and stick it in the bowl of your pipe and just light it and smoke it
the whole way like that, yeah.
Yep.
All right, I think my final things are a new pen and ink. Thank you from Trufe. I pay for it. It's not free, but thank you from Trufe anyway. I did get a new Cross Bailey Light in black and gold. Love the color on it. It's a cheap pen. It's okay. It came with one ink cartridge that is a super not traditional ink cartridge.
Okay.
And no converter, but I have a pile of converters, and I was like, I really don't. It came with black, which with the black and gold, cool. At least they didn't send blue with a black and gold pen. But I was just first use. I really wanted to try a converter on it, and I pulled out a Schaefer, and there was no way it was ever going to work. And then I pulled out a Pelican converter, and it appeared to have worked. I say as I hand this to you because it appeared to work while I was using it. It's now been sitting, so if it leaked, you're welcome.
Okay. Is it a twist or pop
Pull,
off?
yep.
Ooh.
So it came with Diplomat Orange by Octopus Fluids Inc. So I wanted to load it up with that. So this nib, the box didn't say what size nib it is. The nib doesn't say what size nib it is. It just was labeled FP, as in fountain pen. So it appears as though Cross makes fountain pens with one nib. And that is what you get.
Okay.
Or at least they're cheap ones. But for a cheapy plastic pen, it's pretty, and it writes okay.
Yeah.
I'll probably run this orange ink through it, clean the converter, because it was really meant for a Pelican pen that I have, or not a Pelican, but one of my Polish brands uses Pelican. So that converter was meant to go in one of my Polish fountain pens. So I'll probably clean it out and drop that black cartridge in next. But for now, I wanted to use the new pen and ink. Yeah. And I got lucky that I have extra converters that worked.
That's a nice pen.
Yep. Yeah, for a budget,
yep.
You know, we overlook Cross all the time because they are kind of a corporate sellout kind of company. In our eyes, we don't really know much about them to say that, but from what we've seen, they're not represented at the shows, blah, blah, blah. But for a blind box, and it's nice.
Yeah, I like it.
I have a lot of black and gold stuff. You know, it's sitting next to my black and gold water bottle. Yep. So I'll find a use for it. It's nice. I wrote a really great advert this week.
Yeah. But they can barely read it. It's very light ink.
It is super light and hard to read. And that is the only note I have here. Light and hard to read. Which, if I stuttered a little bit in our advert this week, it's because I wanted to use the new stuff.
Right.
But I'm really amused that Diplomat, since 1922... is using a different company to make their inks, and it literally says by Octopus Fluids.
Gross. I like it.
I read it to Tessa, and she's like, why didn't they call it Octopus Ink? Oh, somebody's probably used that before, huh?
Yeah,
like, yeah, probably.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell that I had just gotten out of the shop when I opened it, because
there's a red stain everywhere.
The K. Woody red stain right where I had to thumb that thing open.
Yep.
So my Octopus Fluids Diplomat ink is stained K. Woody. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I think that's a show.
I think that's about it. Come to Capital Land.
Yep.
June 21st. Yep.
11 to 7.
Yeah, the vendors have been asking why I don't have a new form out. Those who are waiting have just started using last year's forms. Spoilers, we're not changing table prices or anything. So yes, if you want a table, and I haven't gotten that email out to you because both Eugene and I are slammed.
Yep.
Just use last year's form. It's okay. We'll process it just the same. We wanted to open a new bank account just for Capital Land to help keep everything separated for my own finances, blah, 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 blah. That stuff wasn't getting done because of how busy we are. So we're probably this year going to wind up running everything through Greywoody again, which is a financial and accounting nightmare for me. But it does not change the fact that we have Capital Land funds, and that's how we run things. It's just harder for me, but we didn't get that done in time. So if you're waiting, go ahead and fill out last year's form. It's on greywoody.com. You'll see a Capital Land link there.
Right.
And then we'll trudge through this year, and then hopefully by next year have Capital Land set up as its own entity. Nothing changes. It's just Eugene and I continuing to run things the way we do. Yep. It's just more on our own side of how we track everything that changes. And this year, weird thing, I guess, buying a company and going on a world tour for 6 months really hampered my ability to get dumb extra things done ahead of time.
Kind of chewed up your time, huh?
So Capital Land is on. Vendors are already signing up with the old form, and we'll get some stuff out in the coming weeks. Yep. It's just crazy right now.
Yep. And if any of you listening are going to the Chicago International Pipe Show, and want to volunteer your time to me,
Yeah.
and
that's
the
actually a good
UPCA to help us run some things, get at us somehow.
Yeah. If you love pipe clubs, if you love the community, it's a good time in Chicago to help us out. It could be an hour of your entire weekend, and we would really appreciate it. If you love those things, we'll have a lot of volunteer opportunities, manning the table for a little while, and then contest related.
Yeah, we really we need a photographer.
Yep,
if you can take the pictures.
Yeah, we need a dedicated photographer. There is some form of reimbursement available, so get in touch with Eugene, contest manager, emfalco@gmail.com.
That is correct.
And anything you want to do to help, let us know and let him know, and let's get the ball rolling.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you, guys.
We rolling out.
Bye.
The only advice I have for you, buddy, is cut your goddamn nails.
I knew that's where you were going to go.
Oh, my God. Why?